Hi, I'm back and I wanted to share a quick story. I was at lunch yesterday and I spoke to a, another chiropractor. He's a friend of mine who lives on the East Coast. And he was telling me a story that got me really thinking. The magnitude of the story just really hit me. And I think some of you can relate to the situation that he's in and how intense and how bad it really is. This guy has been a chiropractor for 21 years, so he's well along in his career. Um, he's he would probably be the first to admit he didn't take his loans seriously enough, and he doesn't understand why he ended up in such a situation. He essentially borrowed, as he told me, around $110,000 originally to go to school. Now, that's low compared to where what it costs to go to school these days. It's much higher. It's not uncommon to hear people having $200,000 and $300,000 in loans just coming out of school today, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. This guy was saying he borrowed $110,000 and he's been paying on him for 21 years, and he's paid over $300,000 towards his loans. And when he told me the current balance, my jaw just dropped. He said his current balance is still sitting at $151,000. This is what happens, you guys, when you don't pay attention to your loans and you let them get away and you ignore them and you ignore the pain. They just pummel you in interest. This guy's looking forward to qualifying for student loan forgiveness in another 4 years. And I'm not even certain he understands the magnitude of what he's facing. I don't know what he's going to do about the tax bill. I don't know if you're aware that when a loan balance is forgiven, let's say in his case, $151,000, he's paid $300,000, over the last 21 years. They're going to potentially forgive $150,000 in student loans in his case. As the law sits right now, that $150,000 is considered taxable income at the time it's forgiven. So 4 years from now, he would have to add that to his annual income and pay taxes on that, and those taxes would become due that year. So it's an insane amount of money. There are some people who have taken the strategy of, I'm never going to pay my loans off. Instead, I'm only going to save for the tax payment. And then there's some people that are doing that. They're saying, hopefully the laws change at some point in time to where if I have to make the tax payment, great. But if not, at least I've set aside, all of this money potentially to pay off the tax bill. And in the event that the laws are canceled and that forgiven amount is no longer taxable, then, hey, I've got a nice retirement nest egg sitting there that I can now invest in, use towards other assets. But again, it's just a risky strategy. That's why I want to get these loans paid off. I want them out of my life so I can start making all the money I earn work for me rather than against me. And psychologically, I don't want to carry this around anymore. I don't know how you handle the stress watching this video, but I imagine if you're getting to this video, student loans are on your mind, they're eating at you, and you're wondering what to do. You're probably trying to come up with your own strategy of, do I pay these off? Do I potentially ride this out and see what happens with the laws, and hope and pray that some politician's going to come in and change the laws and take all your problems away. I personally don't think that that's ever going to happen. So that's why I'm going to attack the loans. I'm going for it. But I wanted to give that story to you guys so you could hear, because I just about choked. It makes me sick to think of that. I think it's criminal. I think it's absolutely wrong that someone should have to pay 3 times the amount that they borrowed and then still owe more than the original balance. That's insane. Something fundamentally needs to be done to the structure of these loans so that these loan sharks can't shackle us for life. I was just having this conversation with a friend that, as far as I know, our student loans accumulate interest daily. Does anyone know how that compares to how a credit card works, for example? Like, I don't think a credit card debt accumulates interest daily. I think it's monthly that it accumulates. So if you make your payments on time you're not accumulating interest on a daily rate. You're covering your interest. Whereas I notice, I can make a big payment on one particular student loan and come back 3 days from now without making a payment, and I'll have a dollar or two of interest sitting on that account. Again, it's already reaccumulated. It's no matter how fast you pour, it's already filling back up. Versus, as I understand it with my credit, like a credit card, if you make your payment on time and you cover the interest and then you pay towards the principal, they're not continuing to stack on interest every single day as long as you make that payment on time. Do I understand that correctly? Or can someone else explain that to me? It's Christmas Eve. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful Christmas, and I will talk to you soon.